Hi, everyone. I'm Prafulla, and I'm a product manager on Google Play Instant team. It is so good to see you all here. And thank you for making it to the last session of the day. Last year, here at I/O, we announced Android Instant apps. And we made them available to all app developers. Today, I'm very happy to announce that we are extending the same platform to all game developers as well. We call it Google Play Instant, where all apps and now game developers as well can build instant native experiences for their users. In this session today, we are going to talk about two things. One, how app developers across different app verticals are finding success with Google Play Instant. And two, how easy it is to get started if you want to build an instant app. Tomorrow, there is a similar session focused on game developers, which I highly encourage you to attend. So let's talk about apps. Our users, they love native apps, be it watching video, favorite TV shows, or having a smooth checkout experience while shopping or buying flight tickets. It is not a surprise, then, that users spend 87% of their mobile time in apps, compared to only 13% in apps. One would imagine, then, that if users are spending so much time in apps, then they must be finding and installing a lot of cool new apps. Well, quite the opposite. The same report shows that more than half of the users install no apps in any given month. Why? Well, app discovery is hard. As app developers, you all can relate to the fact that getting users to find your app is filled with huge challenge. And after that, for users, installation is another challenge. To understand these challenges better, we ran several user studies. And we found that the process of installation is filled with friction, questions, and concerns. Let me share with you some of the actual codes from our users. Apps, they take up space on my phone, and my phone runs slower, said one of our users. If I'm just ordering pizza, I don't want to have to download an app, said another. Many of them say that installation, it feels like more steps between me and the information that I want. And at Google Play Instant, we totally relate to these concerns and have been working hard to remove these steps between users and apps. Before we deep dive into details and look at how, let's first see Instant App in action. Yes, that's the magic of Google Play Instant. and you can experience it from almost any Android device that is running Lollipop or above. In fact, thanks to our OEM partners, such as Samsung, Sony, LG, and others, we have now enabled more than 1 billion devices to run instant apps. And with all these devices enabled, we have expanded the discovery of your app to well beyond Play Store. So let's look at some of the examples in more detail. Search, one of the most powerful discovery surface. In this example, our early partner, Realtor, has enabled majority of their URLs to launch an instant app, so that when user taps on any of the search URL, they land right into this fluid, immersive experience. Ads, another great discovery surface. When user sees an ad of this interesting game, such as Clash Royale, they don't need to worry about installing the game first. With one tap, they can start playing this immersive, feature-rich game right from wherever they are. But discovery of your app does not need to be limited to traditional surfaces like search or web. In this case, the third example, one of our media partner, Vicky, who's in the crowd today, noticed that a lot of their users were finding the content that they offer in Play Movies app. But once users find the content, they hit the same install friction. It was no-brainer for them to start replacing the Install Wiki button with Watch on Wiki button, so that in one tap, users can start watching the content that they were after. So we saw how Instant App improves the discovery of your app and make your native app available to more and more users. But sitting in the crowd, you might be thinking, all that is fine, but how is this going to help me drive installation that I really want? Well, that is where Instant App really shine. Let me show you how. Let's say your friend recommends you a cool shopping app, Holler. You find the app in the Play Store, and it does really look interesting. But wait a minute. This is also the moment where the commitment anxiety kicks in. We have all been there. We ask ourselves questions like, do I really need to install this right now? Is this going to give me all the stuff that I'm after? Why can't I do window shopping as I do in real life? Well, and a lot of users try to do that window shopping by installing and then uninstalling. They don't need to do that anymore. Once you publish your app as an instant app, we immediately and automatically enable the Try Now button in the Play Store. For e-commerce apps, this is indeed like window shopping. For Games app, this is a great way to play a game before you decide to install. And our users, they love this no commitment option. As an outcome, some of our partners are seeing installation uplift up to 19%. While exact uplift depends on many factors, one thing is very clear. Try Now removes commitment anxiety and engages users who were hesitant to install your app in the first place. So if you want to start simple with instant apps, and if installation uplift is how you define your success, then journey is straightforward. We will show later in this session that with few lines of configuration changes, you can enable the Try Now experience for your app as well. But once you have an instant app, it does not need to be limited to the Try Now button in the Play Store. The same instant app can be launched from a banner on your website. And as we talk about banner, First, let me ask you a quick question. A quick show of hands if you have come across a banner that asked you to install an app on a website. Well, that's quite a lot of you, and they are indeed very common. But the install button on these banners, it triggers the same commitment anxiety. Can our users experience the app, just like try now, before they decide to install? No points for guessing that, because of course they can. The Instant app can change the web to app banners to web to Instant app banners. The install button can now be replaced by Open button, and in one tap, user can land into this immersive experience delivered by the Instant app that you built. And as you see on the last image on the right, they still have option to install. But there are now added benefits. One, users have already experienced your app, so they are more informed. And two, you as a developer control the look, feel, positioning, timing of this installation, and you can really integrate this well with your user journey. Some partners have reported that the installs that they get from Instant app are more valuable to their business than the install that they get organically. So we saw how Instant app expands the discovery of your app to new surfaces like search, ads, and more. We also saw that how Try Now and web banners can get you started super quickly and give you installation uplift that you want. But beyond discovery and installation, we are always working with all of you to unlock critical user journeys for your app. One such feature we are launching is notifications in beta. For many user journeys, notifications are key extension of your app functionality. When your cab arrives, when your food gets delivered, or when your package ships. I'm very happy to announce that with this notification beta and program, we can start unlocking those core use journeys. And you can sign up for this beta program using the URL displayed on the screen, g.co/instantapps/notification. We would love to learn and implement some good use cases for notifications. So in summary, we strongly believe that once your Android app is instant, the potential and possibilities are unlimited. Let me leave you with a video of one such possibility where one of our partner, TapCart, is building an augmented reality shopping experience right from the search results. After the video, my colleague Raj will come on the stage and share with you many success stories that we are seeing with our Instant app partners. Thank you.
Nail it. Awesome. Thank you, Prafulla. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. My name is Ajrawat, and I'm a product specialist for the Android platform here at Google Play. Today, I'm going to walk you through a lot of the business impact that we're seeing with developers that are launching instant apps, and hopefully inspire you guys to also build an instant app as well. It's been incredibly exciting to see all the different types of instant apps that have been launching since we announced instant apps last year. Across all the different categories in the store, though, we've actually seen some really interesting and immersive experiences coming from a few particular categories, including travel and local, e-commerce, games, and media, including things like video, audio, and news. Now, the common thread amongst a lot of these different verticals is that all of these partners are delivering extremely rich, immersive, and native experiences to their users. For example, if I'm searching for a weekend getaway and I want to be able to take a look at the house that I want to book, or watch a video, or take a virtual tour, it's really great to do that in a native experience quickly and then be able to book. Or perhaps I'm actually trying to buy something and I want to take a look and see if it actually fits on me as well, like you saw with that tap card video. Or if a friend shares with me a link so that he can play with me and see which player is actually the best player for a particular game. I don't want to have to wait to go to the store and install. I can start playing in that particular moment. And of course, if a friend shares a link to a video and we want to be able to laugh about a particular thing, I can do that quickly without having to wait for a page to load or an app to install. Across all these experiences, we want to empower users to have a frictionless checkout, a frictionless login, and a frictionless experience. Now, I'm really happy to see the business uplift that we're starting to see from all of our partners, and we can generally categorize that uplift across 3 different areas, including installs, conversion, and engagement. Let's dive a little bit more into the installs number. So what's been really striking for us since we launched Google Play Instant is the fact that many partners are actually seeing a huge boost to their organic installs by launching an Instant app. One of our partners, NOS.nl, a Dutch news company, actually saw a 30% boost in installs by launching their Instant app. Another partner of ours, Realtor.com, a real estate company based here in the US, actually saw a 13% boost in installs from Instant apps. Let that sink in for a second. Instant apps is now a major source of installs for your business. Simply put, if you're not deploying an Instant app right now, you're actually losing out on installs, and it's affecting your overall user acquisition strategy. We really can't stress this point enough, and we want to make sure you understand that there's going to be ways where you can drive more users to come to your app as a result of Google Play Instant. Now, thinking about conversions, we actually saw from one of our partners, Wego, that they saw a 27% increase in conversions from their Instant app. Wego is a flight search engine based out of Asia. And as you saw from earlier, Holler, one of our e-commerce partners, actually saw a 20% increase in conversions overall. Now that they are both seeing success, we're actually advising both partners in ways in which they can drive more traffic to their Instant app so they can continue to capture that increase in their conversions. When we spoke to one of our media partners, Viki, a popular Asian TV drama app, they actually saw monetizable watch time increase almost 5x, from 9 minutes to almost 47 minutes. That's a huge increase in the amount of time that they're getting from users, where they're able to capture them and make them extremely loyal users overall. And what they're also reporting to us is that the users that are downloading and installing from their Instant app are actually much more impactful and much more loyal users. They subscribe more, they watch more, and they register more often. I want to take a moment here and deep dive into one of our partners' success stories. As you know, Vimeo was one of our first Instant app partners to launch. They're a video platform for creators to post videos. When they first launched, they actually saw engagement go through the roof. They saw over a 130% increase in engagement compared to other channels. That means they were capturing some serious power users through their Instant app. When we also worked with them to get their Instant app out the door, they found that they only had about 50% of their URLs enabled for search, which meant that there was an opportunity to actually drive more users from those URLs that are indexed already to their Instant app. And today, they're actually at about 80% of their URL coverage in 2018. What is the result of all those efforts? They're now actually seeing almost 15% of their installs coming from their instant app. And again, our goal is to try and see how we can continue to drive even more traffic so that they can continue to capture all of these users. No matter how you cut the data across all these verticals and across all these experiences, you're simply just seeing more installs, more conversions, and more engagement. I'd like to now hand over the stage to my colleague Ignacio, who's going to walk you through all the ways in which you can actually implement these features to get your instant app launched.
Thank you, Raj. Hello, everyone. My name is Ignacio Blanco, and I'm an engineering lead on the Google Play Instant team. You heard from Raj and Prafulla. Developers are finding success with instant apps. What I'm going to show you now is how simple it is to implement some of these features, as well as how easy it is to enable this success for your instant apps. I will cover 3 stages of development. First, how you reduce your app size so that your app can be instant. Second, enabling traffic, how you can make your app be directly launched by your users. And third, measuring success, how your happy users can drive up the metrics you care about. Let's talk about reducing your app size. In order for an app to be instant, it needs to be small. But we heard from you developers that reducing app size is really, really hard. However, there are today 100 megabyte installable apps that have an instant app. I'm going to walk you through 3 techniques that you can use to reduce your app size: configuration APKs, the Google Play Core library, and the 10 megabyte program. With configuration APKs, you just need to make a few config changes on Gradle, and you can save significant amounts of size on your APK. The way configuration APKs work is by partitioning your native code and resources across locales, ABIs, and densities. Additionally, we are opening up today the Google Play Core library. With the Google Play Core library, you can download on-demand features at runtime. What this allows you to do is to build a small entry point experience and then download up to 10 extra megabytes on the background. Now, these 2 techniques should be sufficient for the majority of developers. However, we are also opening up today a 10 megabyte program in beta. What this allows you to do is to build instant apps that have a 10 megabyte entry point. So if you're interested, please go to g.co/instantapps/10MB. What this will give you is try now immediately, as well as deep linking from your website. Now, if you were following the keynote yesterday and the presentations, you may be wondering if this is related to the Android app bundle. And you're right. The Android bundle allows you to build smaller apps, opens the door for modularization, and helps you download features on demand. So no matter where you're coming from, whether it's by adopting the Android bundle or building your first instant app, we got you covered. Tools and documentation will be available shortly to guide you through the path. So I just showed you how you can reduce your app size. Now let's talk about how you can enable traffic to go directly to your instant app. I'm going to show you 2 simple things on how you can get traffic to be sent directly to your instant app. First is how you can enable the try now. Second, I'm going to show you how you can get these web-to-app banners that Prafulla talked about. So when we launched Try Now last October, developers have been enabling this by simply adding to your under manifest a metadata tag with a URL that points back to the instant app. You have your main launcher and a meta tag. This provides you Try Now that you haven't seen so far. Now, to make it even simpler, and also to support partners that don't have web presence like games, we went 1 step forward, and we totally removed the need for URLs as well as for asset link verification. So this is your manifest now without Try Now. What you have to do is simple. Nothing. So starting today, we remove the need to have URLs in your manifest at all. You can publish an instant app without any URLs. If you do this, you immediately get Try Now, as well as the Web to App banners. So earlier in the talk, Prafulla showed you these Web to App banners and asked you if you have seen them, and you said yes. What he didn't show you was how easy it is to implement them. Get ready. Done. Just append launch equals true to the deep link on the Play Store. And if you have an instant app, those banners will now take the user to the new journey, where from the open button, they just land directly on the instant app. So far, we covered reducing your app size and enabling 2 simple traffic sources, which are really powerful. The next step is how you can measure the performance and the success of your instant app. I'm going to walk you through 2 tools that we had and we have extended to support instant apps: the Google Play Console and the Google Search Console. One of the questions that developers usually ask us is, how many installs is my instant app driving? Well, we have built this on the Google Play Console, and you can access this today. Simply go to Statistics, configure your report, select the instant app metrics you care about, such as launch and conversion events. And finally, if you care about which referrer is sending traffic to your instant app, select Refer Platform. The results? Really good. My app, on number 1, is getting 150,000 sessions just between April and May. On number 2, you see that the ad campaign that we set up on April 18th is also doing pretty well. More launches are driving more installs just from instant apps. Now, if you want to see which specific traffic source from the ones that Prafulla talked about, such as search, browsers, or Try Now, is helping us here, what you see is, Try Now is effectively giving me 80% of my installs just from my instant app. Now, what I just showed you should help you understand the performance of your instant app from the Google Play Console side. If you are integrated with Google Search, we have also worked with the search team to give you these kind of stats. What you see here is the overall performance of your search integration with your instant app. You can see clicks, impressions, and average CTR. You may also be wondering which specific queries or which specific URLs are driving traffic to your instant app. We built that too. Down in the bottom, you can switch between queries and pages, and that will give you the fine detail of impressions, clicks, and CTR for both queries and URLs. This should help you further understand your search integration. So to summarize, what we covered today is how you can reduce your app size by using configuration APKs, how you can download on-demand features using the Google Play Core library, and finally, we talk about the 10-megabyte program. We then talk about enabling traffic for your instant apps through Try Now, as well as from deep links. And finally, I show you how you can understand the success of your app from both the Google Play Console as well as the Google Search Console. I want to thank you, all of you, for being here. Please visit us at the Sandbox Tent C tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of I/O, and have fun at the concert.